Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube live video stream. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad that you're all here. A lot of people in the room. Glad to see that. Trade Shark, I'm glad you're here with your people here. Jen, I see you're here. She's one of our social media specialists. She will be in the background. I also have Joey with me, my right-hand man. Say hi, Joey.
Hi.
And he's the guy that works in the background to make sure everything is good to go. Once again, my name is Glenn Tompkins. I'm a senior instructor here at VectorVest. I am going to be the host for the next hour or so in regards to Trending Thursday. Glad that you've taken out your time out of your day to be here. And as always, we're going to get rock and rolling pretty quickly because there's a lot of things going on in the market that we need to address that could affect how we invest in the market and to make sure if the things that we're doing are keeping us profitable or not keeping us profitable. And if we're not profitable, let's change that around and become profitable. There's still a lot of buying opportunities. So we always start off with market timing. And as I mentioned, I'm going to get right into it. Let's start looking at our market timing, talk about our homepage. For those of you who are new to the VectorVest live stream here that we do at YouTube. One, I noticed that a lot of the viewers who watch us and comment on our videos are not subscribed to the page. If you like the content here, please subscribe to the page. I'm glad that you're here nonetheless, but please subscribe to the page to support the page. In regards to the page, thank all of you out there for getting us over the hurdle or getting us to our milestone of over 10,000 subscribers. I want to say thank every one of you out there. Joey wants to say thank you. Say thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Joey.
All right, so Joey says thank you. Jennifer, you're in the background. Say thank you to the folks out there because it was all because of you that we were able to hit that milestone. And again, for all of the people that are out there who are watching this, who have not subscribed to the VectorVest page, by all means, please do so. Let's get this thing even rolling even faster and we'll be good to go. So, talking about what's going on in the market, a lot of things happen. There's a stimulus package that's out there to help the American people of $2 trillion. The Senate has now looked like that they passed it, put it through. Now it's up to the House to vote on it. It already went through once. The House said no. Now the Senate had to go through. We put it back together again. Now it's up to the House. I've gotten to see a lot of the stuff that's in there, and I'm going to keep my views out of it. But man, oh man, there's a lot of money in there. In my estimation, both sides are pushing agendas. And as far as politics goes, that's all that I'm going to say about that. My biggest thing is let's get the money out to the people who need it. There's a lot of people who've been laid off, who've been affected by the COVID-19. Let's help the American people. That's what our government is there to do. Let's get something through so that our people are taken care of. And I'm sure that besides me, there's many of you who know people directly or indirectly have been affected. This is the time that no matter what side of any party, any kind of aisle, all of that stuff needs to go to the wayside right now. This is a time that as Americans, we help each other. But another thing, don't panic. All right, as investors in the market, this is not the time to panic. This is the time to keep a calm, level playing head so that you know what's going on, and that's important. So, looking at the market timing graph, or looking at the market timing, this is the home page of the VectorVest software. It gives you a lot of information that you can glean useful data from to know what to do in the current market's condition. As we can see, all of the major indices are up. So someone made a comment about the jobs report. The jobs report was one of the worst reports that have been reported. All right, we were looking at about 1.5 million people going out to look for work. We got to a number of 3.28 million. That was double the number of what we were saying that we were looking for. So the jobs number was huge. A lot of people trying to claim unemployment, as well they should if they've been laid off or furloughed. So as you look at that, normally when the jobs number is that bad, it affects the market in an adverse way. But today, this tells me a little bit more about what's in the mindset of the people who are in the market. It's not just about the jobs. It is more so about the stimulus and about the stimulus getting through. The Dow is up today, 940 points. We're up at almost 5%, 4.5% on the Dow. We're up 3.68% on the NASDAQ. The S&P is up over 4%, and our VectorVest composite is closing up right now over 3%. A big day in the market, even after a bad jobs number, which really starts to press home that people are more interested in getting out the money to the people who need it, more so than the amount of people on the lines looking for a job. Just keep that in mind. As we look at our daily market timing gauge, we are one tick into the green, and that's because our market timing gauge tracks the top row of lights found on the color guard down below it. The color guard looks at three of our market timing indicators. Price, which is the price movement of the VectorVest composite. RT, which looks at the short-term price trend of the market. This is an indicator that is cast on a scale between 0 and 2. Above 1, the market's in an uptrend. Below 1, the market's in a downtrend. Notice that we are getting better as far as RT is concerned. The momentum in the market is starting to pick up, but it is still below the value of 1. I want you to understand that no matter what, even though we have a good day today and it looks like we've had a good 3 days, we ain't out of the woods yet. Anything can happen. Any bad news can turn this market around in a heartbeat. But we, as tracking the trend of the market, will keep you on the right side of the trend. The BSR, or buy to sell ratio, which looks at the overall health of the market. And again, if you have now been looking at this for the first time, understanding what you see here in this homepage, this is the kind of information that as a VectorVest subscriber, you get every single day. So if you're not a subscriber, something to consider. All right, and you look at our color guard, a lot of yellow lights in the color guard. This is more of our 6-day snapshot of the market. More yellows. Use this like a traffic light. More yellow than anything. This is a time to be cautious. So once we start to get a ton of green, it's okay to go. Just like when you get to a green light, it's time to go. When you get to a lot of green in this color guard, it's okay to start buying stocks long. Now, let me walk you through the steps of getting into the market as of where we are right now. We have something called the primary wave, which is the first 2 letters in this trend column you see right here. The primary wave looks at the week-over-week movement of this VectorVest composite. The VectorVest composite is an indexed arithmetic average of all of the stocks that we track. So all of these 8,197 stocks are tracked in one ticker symbol known as the VVC. We track its trend on a week-over-week and day-over-day basis. Why do we have a green light today? Because the price of the composite rose on a week-over-week basis from $35.92 to $38.42, and on a day-over-day basis from $37.30 to $38.42. So, 3 ways to start to get into the market. 1, primary wave. Actually, 1, a big up day in the market in and of itself, which happened 2 days ago. Coming off of a possible bottom in the market, we had a big up day. For those of you who were super aggressive, that was your day to start dipping your toe in the water. 2, we had a primary wave change finally to an up yesterday on March 25. If you're a little bit more aggressive or a little less aggressive than just that big up day, yesterday was your time to go. 3, if you're a little bit more prudent, look at that primary wave up and the green light in the color guard pricing column. That's 3. I'm going to give you one other step. We have a market timing signal called the RT kicker. We have 2. 1, the RT kicker, and number 2, the DEW timing signal. Either one of those pop off and give you an up call, that is more confirmation. So when we say we time the market or we follow the trend of the market, right now, possibly the bottom could have been 3 days ago, possibly, and getting you in 1 day off the bottom, 2 days off the bottom, or possibly 3 days off the bottom is unheard of. When we can do that kind of timing and do that consistently over and over again. So this was more so for the benefit of the new people that may be in the room, to give them an understanding on how the power of the VectorVest software can get you into the market at the right time and get you out of the market prior to all of this coronavirus stuff going on. If you get the software, go look at our nightly newsletter called the VectorVest Views. We have walked you through time and time on when we got our customers out of the market at the right time. So why does the market look this way? Well, let's go out to the first story. And here we go. And what did I do, Joey? Hear this one? Yep. All right. First story I want to talk about. The Fed unveils major expansion of market intervention. The Fed is big time into what's happening in the market right now. Interest rates have dropped down to from 0 to 0.25. All right, so 0.25%. We dropped the interest rates. Why? To help to stymie off the effects of the COVID-19 and boost the economy. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's whatever it takes moment arrived on this past Monday. The central bank signaled it would do practically anything. Folks, I've not heard this kind of talk in the market from the Fed since the 2008 housing bubbles. Extending loans to big and small businesses, purchasing unlimited amounts of government debt to help an American economy in a race against time. So when you talk about what the Fed is doing to help to bolster the economy, they have pulled out all of the stops to try to make sure this economy and the market don't go into a free fall. Now, here we go. A deal was reached on a $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus bill, the largest by far in U.S. history. This is just more addition to the fact that the Fed is pulling out all the stops to do what it can to stave off a huge market decline. After haggling for days over the final details, Senate Democrats and White House agree Wednesday, which was yesterday, to a nearly $2 trillion stimulus package to combat the economic fallout of the coronavirus outbreak, including direct payments to most Americans and a $500 billion fund to shore up struggling companies. The stimulus bill, by far the largest ever proposed. So this again backs up the story that the Fed is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure the market does not go into free fall. So with that, let's go back into the software and let's go to our market timing graph. Again, for the people who are brand new, what we're looking at, again, we time the market, but when we time the market, we don't predict which way the market is going to go. We follow the trend of the market. Now, as I talk to you, as possibly as a means to get back in here, this is where we got our customers out prior to all of this big move to the downside, this precipitous fall in the market. And again, if you go back into our nightly newsletter, we talked about how we got our customers out prior to this and how we are going to work to get you in at the right time. I'm going to put this on a 3-month graph. Here's all the coronavirus fallout, down, 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 down. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, here is a potential bottom to the market. How do you know when the market bottoms? Simple answer. When the market stops going down and it starts going up. You will never see a bottom until the bottom actually happens. But here we are right now, 3 days off of the bottom. A couple of things happen. I'm going to put on that call for the primary wave. There it is. 2 days off of the bottom, the primary wave went up. That is the week-over-week movement of the VectorVest composite. Today, let's go change this to the green light buyer. We got a green light. It's not going to show up yet today until the color stays as green as the market closes. But folks, unheard of to actually be able to time to get you in to the market, possibly 3 days off of a possible bottom. And now if you decide to get in, manage your trades with stops. Because again, because this is a pandemic, any bad news can come out and we can reverse and start going back down at any point in time. So what you're looking for days like today when the market is moving up. If you dip your toe into the water, you want to make sure you have follow through the next day. Make sure you have stops in place to know when you're going to get out of the trade as you get into the trade, because again, anything can happen. But since all of this moved to the downside, this is the first time 3 days in a row the market is up. That is huge, and this is a good time. Again, big update 2 days ago. as you're a more aggressive trader, big up day, you could have gotten into the market. If you're a little less aggressive, we got the primary wave up yesterday, and now if you still need more confirmation, we got a green light in the color guard pricing column. So before anybody says, well, man, your stuff is all hindsight, this is now sight. This is happening, and this is the guidance that we're giving as the market is moving right now. Yes, you can go back in time after all of this is done and say, holy smokes, VectorVest did a good job, but they just put that out there. You're watching it now. You're watching it now. So that is the market timing graph. I'm going to minimize that for a second. Actually, let me go to my watch list of stocks. The two stocks that I look for to track the market are the spiders, for those of you who are not VectorVest subscribers, and our indicator, the VVC, or the VectorVest composite that we use to time the market. Remember, this indicator, the VVC, looks at the movement of over 8,000 stocks. Let's go look at both of these on a graph. Now that they're highlighted, we'll right-click. We're going to view a stock graph. Let's maximize this graph. Let's bring this into the last 3 months. Here's the spiders. Now, we will use moving averages on every stock that we look at. The two moving averages we use are 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. Now, the question gets asked, why do you use that? Because it works. Whether I'm trading a stock or I'm long-term or swing trading a stock, it works. And it's a good opportunity, even on the spiders, on the S&P 500, when the 3 went below the 8. Look at that as a great opportunity to get out. Even though it reversed and went back up, how about the 3 and the 8 never reversed? Keep you out, keep you out, keep you out. And folks, that's on the S&P 500, not even on an individual stock. That's on the S&P 500. I do like today that today is the third day coming off of this possible bottom. The 3 and the 8 have gone positive. Let's go look at the VectorVest composite. Same kind of scenario. The 3 and the 8 went bearish here. Look at that, even on the rebound here, the 3 and the 8 stayed bearish. And with today's activity, both the VectorVest composite and the S&P 500 on a graph have the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages both crossing to the upside. Possible way to go. If you do pull the trigger right now, make sure you're buying into a rising stock, number one, and number two, make sure you have the right stops in place. Depending on how you invest will determine what stops you will use. There is no rule etched in, no rule of thumb or etched in. Well, there is a definite rule of thumb. Whatever stocks you get into, do not lose more than half of what you made. That's the huge rule of thumb. All right. With that being said, that is my first story in regards to the market. Jobs numbers, horrible. But the market did not really respond to that. It went up. Why? Because the second story, looking at the stimulus, the $2 trillion stimulus, that's where the interest is, and that's where the people are looking. And the closer we get to that, I think that is going to be the catalyst that gets us from where we are right now to an even higher move. Joey, any questions?
Does this stuff really work?
Does this stuff really work? Yeah. VectorVest has been around for the last... Is that a loaded question?
Yeah.
All right. So this company has been around for over 30 years. I personally have been with VectorVest this month, made 16 years. Joey, how long have you been here?
Around 20.
Joey's been here for 20 years. Folks, we got to be doing something right to still be here and have as many subscribers as we have. So there we go. Any other questions, my friend?
They said the camera's gone out of focus. Just ask them to refresh. I think maybe YouTube's having some problems.
Joey said if the camera goes out of focus, just refresh your YouTube. All right, just refresh your YouTube. Anything else, Joey? That's it. All right, it's time to move to my second story. The next story specifically talks about coronavirus stocks. As you know, we do have a coronavirus watch list, of which I'm going to show in a second. And if you want to get the full listing of all of the stocks, once Joey puts this video out as a recording, you can get to this section, and then what you will do is pause it so that you can get all of the stocks put in. That's probably the best way to go. Everybody keeps talking about my head as a wrecking ball and it's stopping and blocking it. Joey has been laughing about that for the longest time. You need to stop laughing about that. Do you understand? Don't make us have this conversation again. All right. Don't be you said I have a big melon, really. I will turn this car around. Don't get me started. All right. So we're going to talk about four stocks within the coronavirus world that have made the news. Moderna is one of them, up 4% after interviews about the coronavirus vaccine. It's up below average, and this was on March 23rd, which was 3 days ago. The story was put out. Is up on below average following two recent interviews from top execs about its investigational COVID-19 vaccine currently being tested in phase 1. A lot of stocks are getting very close to phase 1. A lot of them are in phase 1, getting ready to go to phase 2. Even a couple of them out there are pushing phase 3. But I don't know how you can get to phase 3 that fast, because it takes a lot of, testing for that to happen. Another stock that's going up, maybe not a lot of you know about this one though, AYTU Bio to distribute COVID-19 IG, I don't know what that is, and all of that, but it's for rapid test. Shares up 15% pre-market, and that was also on the 23rd. So that's another big part of this whole COVID-19 deal, is getting the test. And now more and more companies are coming out with tests that give you a turnaround, positive or negative, in a shorter amount of time. That's a big help to determine who's got it and who doesn't. And being able to get the tests out there is important, because we want to get as many people tested as possible. So that stock is moving up. Another one, Jetix, was up 37%. That was also on March 23rd, pre-market on coronavirus vaccine investigation. These companies that are rocking and rolling in this space of the COVID-19, these companies are persistently going after trying to find a cure or a fix for it. And one more, Molecular Bio, up 15%. This was a few days even earlier, on March 20th, on filing a new patent. Look at that, filing a new patent for COVID-19 drug candidate. Has filed a new patent application for its use of WP1122 and its analogs as therapies to limit the ability of the coronavirus and other viruses to replicate. So 4 coronavirus stocks that made the news. And as I mentioned, we have a watch list of coronavirus stocks. So what I'm going to do is let's go take a look at some of these stocks. mRNA, AYTU, MBRX, and SGNX. You know what catches my attention though? One of these stocks catches my attention. It's a lower dollar biomed that grows their earnings at a clip of 21%. Folks, if nothing else, keep your eye on that stock. Now, fundamentally, the stock is not good, because our fundamental indicators, RV and RS, are below the value of 1. If you want to know more about how each and every one of these indicators work, we have short videos on YouTube that breaks down all of our indicators. Don't be afraid to watch that. That one is not for that one. All right, so keeping that in mind, thank you though, Joey. Today, Moderna is up 2.46%. Now, even though I told you to keep your eye on AYTU, it's down today. So maybe you're not in it today as a new trade, and if you are holding it long term, if you're already in it, manage the trade on an end-of-day basis. MBRX down 8.96%, and Soligenix is down 4%. So wait a minute, Glenn. You're talking about these stocks as they're rocking and rolling. They're down. Well, that's fine. That's why you time your trade. You only buy into a stock on the day that it's rising, not on the day that it's falling. And even if some of these stocks are falling, if you have your stops in place, you'll mitigate losses and you'll hold on to some of them, even though they fall back, because a more volatile stock needs to have some room to run down just as quickly as it needs some room to run up. Let's take a look at all of these stocks. So again, I do like the AYTU only for the purposes of, look at all of these other companies in their earnings growth. AYTU is the only one that has a positive earnings growth rate, and it is double-digit growth. Let's look at all 4 of these on a graph. All right, we'll pull that up. Here's mRNA. Put these on a 3-month graph. And the question may always come up, why do you like looking at 3-month graphs? Well, what happens every 3 months on a stock? Earnings. Earnings is the biggest mover of a market's price, of a stock's price. Because when earnings go up, it's attractive, people buy it. When earnings go down, it's unattractive and people sell it. All right, so mRNA, as the coronavirus kicked in, it bumped up. Profit taking here, bumped up some more, possible profit taken, but even look at this. Today, the stock's price open candle. The 3 and the 8 is crossed back bullish again, but look at the volume. The volume is pulling back. Another thing about buying into a rising stock, make sure the volume is rising as well, because volume is conviction. I want to make sure that the stock's price is going up, but people are pushing it up. Be careful with mRNA right now, but I do like that the earnings is slightly better than it was 3 months ago. Now, stock's moving a little bit sideways, but the 3 and the 8 just crossed. And every time it does cross, it gives you an opportunity to make money. Gives you an opportunity to make money. Look at all of these crosses on the 3-8. Gives you an opportunity to make money. Let's go to the next stock, which is AYTU. Now, Glenn, again, you told me, hey, keep my eye on this stock. Well, you know something? If you're in it, the 3 and the 8 haven't crossed bearish just quite yet. But I'm thinking about, because that stock, number one, made the news. Number two, has an earnings growth rate better than a lot of the other stocks that are out there. Still keep your eye, and if right now is not the right time to buy, at least I'm putting you on to a stock that's a possibility. Keep this stock on your radar. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go to the next one, MBRX. Even though these stocks have made the news, they're trying to make a run. They're trying to make a run with the news of getting into phase one, of getting a patent, a lot of different things. Biomedical stocks are hard to buy sometimes. You've got to give them some room. But look at the 3-8 crossover. The stock is still, the 3 and 8 is still positive. I'd love to see more volume on it. And the last stock in this list is SNGX. Even though it's made the news, I'm not ready to touch this just quite yet. That's the reason why, even though it's made the news, we always analyze the stock with our indicators, and we always look at the graphs. We always look at the graphs. All right, so that is on my coronavirus. One more thing before I get, and I'm going to get to the questions. One more thing that I need to do. We do have a coronavirus watch list. I'm going to bring that up for you real quick. And I'm going to keep this up here so that, again, as Joey puts this video out, there are 30 stocks in here. So I'm going to leave this up here for a second. Take me off for a second, Joey. I'm going to leave these stocks up here for a second. There we go. And then I'm going to move all the way down to the bottom. When Joey puts this video out, pause this, and we're going to give you an opportunity to build your watch list of stocks from here. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Here's the last little bit of them. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Once you've built the watch list, because of the times that we're in, and because these are biomedical stocks that make a lot of moves a lot of different times, watch this. Sort this whole list by percent price change. Do it at the beginning of every trading day. All right? Stay on top of which ones are moving. Folks, this is Tom. Are you here? Tom has put a comment out there on YouTube that he does this, and he watches which ones are moving. This is a great way to make money on a day over day over day over day over day over day basis. And for many of you who trade options, Rich, I know you do. How about some of the stocks in here have options attached to them? All right, so you might be able to have an opportunity to take advantage of this watch list of stocks to be able to lock in on a day-over-day basis and trade on the ones that are moving. All right, which news companies do you follow for the most accurate market information? Any good companies that combine multiple different news sources? So there's about 5 different sources that I look at. I look at Market Watch. I look at Seeking Alpha. My biggest one that I like the most is Wall Street Journal. I do look at CNBC. And what's my last one? There is one more. There's 5 of them. There's one that I'm missing, and I don't remember. Oh, investing.com. So what I do is when I look at the stories, I look at a stock in all of those news medias to back up on what they're talking about. So that's what I use. What's the maximum position of a portfolio as a percentage you should never go over as a rule? The maximum position of a folio. So you're asking how many stocks you should hold in a portfolio? Our general rule of thumb here at VectorVest is you shouldn't be holding any more than 7 to 10 stocks. 7 to 10 stocks. Now, that will differ from person to person depending on how much money you have in the market. And if you have a big amount of money in the market, I'm going to tell you to bump that up to about 20 stocks. If you don't have a ton of money in the market, I'm going to say maybe look at 1, 2, or even 3 stocks. But hopefully that is your question that you're asking. And if that's the case, our sweet spot of holding stocks is somewhere between 7 and 10. All right. Is that it, Joey?
This one right here.
Oh, why people say we cannot time up and down the market. We got in contra ETFs on 221 and on Monday got out and bought bullish TQQSP 223. Man, super. I'm thinking that you're saying that that's a good thing, but by way of timing the market, Marie, we got our customers in to take advantage of the downside with triple leverage contra ETFs. And you know something? When the market was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that was the ideal time for the trader. And on a day-over-day basis, we have a trading room. Many people that are in this room are part of our trading room, which is called the Jockey Club, and we take advantage of the days of the market as they come. We do not try to outguess the market. And on on an up day, we're playing stocks long. On a down day, we're playing stocks short. So again, for many of you who are new to this software, we do have a trading room from 9 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. every Monday through Friday. When you use the 3 and the 8 EMA, do you ever use it on a weekly chart or just a daily chart? Richard, we pretty much use it on a daily chart. Does that mean you cannot use it on a weekly chart? The answer to that is no. If weekly works better for you because you want to take out the market noise, by all means do so. By all means do so, but we use the 3 and the 8 on a daily or an intraday basis. All right. What's your gut feeling? Has the market really bottomed out? And Crazy Magic, one thing you'll find out about me is that I will never guess. I won't. And right now it looks like the market is bottom, but I don't know. And I think, though, if the stimulus package gets approved, it's a high possibility that the market may have bottomed. If something gets held up in Congress and it gets pushed out more and more and more and more, then we got some more downside. Hopefully that makes sense, Crazy Magic. Isn't that a bullish harami on mRNA? I did not look at that graph that closely. Oh, dagnabbit. Let's go back to, where am I? I messed that up. No, I'm here. Let's go to the viewers. It could have been, let me see, do I have it here? I know it, there it is. mRNA, right click, view the stock graph. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. Is that a bullish? No, I don't have a bullish harami. I didn't know. Even here, that wasn't even a bullish engulfing. Right now, I got a little bit of a shooting star, but that usually is found at the top of a graph pattern, not in the middle. And I'm not willing to call that an uptrend just quite yet. I do have a lot of selling pressure on mRNA, probably a lot of profit taking. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. I bought GFI today. Bad luck. Close the VectorVest stop. That's all right, Eric. This is why you have stops on every trade you put out there. Ron says, how to sign up for timing your entry.
Timing your entry is the special presentation this week.
All right, so in order, you don't have to sign up for it. Ron, if you're a subscriber, as part of the weekly special presentations that we do every week. All right, am I good, Joey?
These are all coming in while you were taking questions, so I haven't read through these yet.
All right, remember Tom tells me this stuff really works. All right, how many shares should you own of a company? Ooh, that all depends on how much money you have, Jason. Let me say it this way. If you got a $10,000 portfolio and you're looking to get into 7 to 10 positions, let's say 10 positions, put $1,000 per position. So when you ask the question, how many shares should you own of a company? It all depends on how you're spreading out your money, how much money you have. If you only have a $5,000 portfolio and you're looking for 10 positions, what are you putting out? You're putting out $500 per position. So hopefully that makes sense. What is this trading room? Jay, you know what that is. It's called the Jockey Club. Bruce says, does it cost anything for the trading room? Yes and no. If you take out a real-time trial, we give you access to that trading room for 30 days. In order to have that trading room on an ongoing basis, we have an add-on module called the Derby. That's what we use for the trading room. That's what we use for the trading room. The 3 and the 8 methodology, moving averages. Moving averages are very helpful in finding stocks that are trending, whether up or down. Moving averages don't work nearly as well when a stock is moving sideways. So the 3 and the 8 methodology is sort of like a little bit more of an aggressive way of looking at a stock's price. So exponential moving averages, because out of the 3 moving averages, it's right in the middle. You have simple, you have exponential, you have weighted. Simple doesn't track price nearly as close as an exponential. Exponential doesn't track price nearly as closely as a weighted. All right, and they're all based on different calculations to get those moving averages. We have found that over time, the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages work out extremely well, whether it's a trade or it's a swing trade. Simi says, economic factors are still negative. How can the market have recovered? Is this a temporary bump or an actual recovery? Remember, I am not going to guess at what the market is doing. What I am saying, though, based upon what you just said, Simi, if the stimulus package goes through, that will set a lot of investors' minds at ease. And you're right. The economy is still looking all jacked up. The information is there. But just remember that back in 2003, there was no good story out there. All it needed was a catalyst, and the market went up for a full year unimpeded. All right? Sometimes all it takes is a little catalyst to get you from point A to point B, and hopefully this stimulus could be that. So, you already asked me the question, have we hit a bottom? I'm letting you know I don't know. It seems that we have right now with 3 days coming off of that bottom. Will it last? I don't know that. This is why if you pull the trigger on any trades today, or you did it yesterday, or you do it tomorrow, make sure you have your stops in place like Eric did on a stock that he got into. And if you keep your stops the right way, you mitigate losses. All right. That's it, Joey? Thank you, sir. Let's get to our next story. You guys have asked a lot of great questions today, by the way. Next one. Let's go look at, this is a big story. U.S. domestic passenger flights could virtually shut down voluntarily or by government order. So we already know that the airline industry is being hit. A lot of the stimulus is going to be going towards the airlines because they can't fly. Nobody's flying. So airlines could be hit, but that's huge. Could be virtually shut down either voluntarily, but this concerns me, or by government order. So you know that I have a travel watch list. Let's go peep that out real quick. Let's go here. Here's travel stocks. Now the travel stocks will hold all the airlines that we have as well as hotels, because if you're not flying anywhere, guess what? Hotels are not making money either. So if I'm look at all of these companies, Southwest, Delta, Alaska, JetBlue, Allegiant, Continental, Wyndham, Choice, Hyatt, Jets, which is, I introduced this last week. This is one ticker symbol that tracks all of the airlines in one ticker symbol, Jets, Jets, even though I'm a Giants fan. Marriott and Hilton, every single one of them is sell recommendations. But wait a minute. Notice that, look at the fundamentals on all of these companies. Southwest, good upside potential, good safety. Delta, good fundamentals. Overall, JetBlue, look at all of these relative values for the most part. All of these companies have good upside potential. VSTs, halfway above 1. Look at their earnings growth rate. Every one of these, with the exception of Jets, which you're not going to have a growth rate on, every one of these are growing their earnings. Every one of them. All right. These are good stocks that have been beaten down because of the COVID-19. All right. So when we look about the story about airlines being shut down, this is why the stimulus is coming to them. But I wanted to show you, we do have a travel stocks watch list. Again, when Joey puts this story out, you can build all of these watch lists that I've got built. You guys can do it at home as well. Just be on the lookout for the videos when Joey puts them out. And don't forget to comment on them too. If you like the data, if you like the information, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you want to see other things in here, let me know. All right, you guys have a voice. Use it. All right, any questions on this story?
There was a comment that says you're missing American Airlines.
What's America? Is America? Am I really? AAL, is that American? Yep, American Air. There you go.
What about cruise stocks?
What about who?
Cruise.
I didn't put cruise stocks in here. I may add that. There's a lot of things that tie into travel stocks, but you know something, I may think about adding cruise stocks. I don't mind that. I'm going to put that down, and if we look at this watch list next week, if we do, because something hits the news wire, I will have cruise lines in here like Royal Caribbean and Carnival. I think that's not a bad idea at all. But nonetheless, even with that, every single one of them have gotten hit to the point that they are sell recommendations. And what did I just add? I added American. Look at that, still another one with earnings growth rate that's positive. American Airlines also has good. All of these companies, for the most part, have good upside potential. These are good companies just going through bad times. Any other questions?
Another guy said he would like to see resorts, please, like when?
Resorts.
WYNN.
All right. I'll put that up there too. WYNN. I'll put that up. So we'll make it a more complete list. All right. Any other questions?
About JetBlue at 759, do you see more upside?
At JetBlue, right now, all of these stocks, when you say up 159, say it again?
He bought it at 759. Do you see more upside?
Oh, well, the problem is right now with all of these stocks, all of these stocks have good upside potential. So, you know, these are good value plays. Good question. These are good value plays. What happens with a lot of value stocks? Warren Buffett invests in a lot of value stocks. Some of those stocks, he buys them at dangerously, really, really beat up prices, and it takes time for those stocks to go back up. When I have an indicator like relative value, it tells me that these stocks have good upside potential. And a lot of them have good safety. Not all of them, but the big part is that they have good upside potential. So from that perspective, the indicator of JetBlue, with the RV at 1.42, I think that yes, it does have good upside potential. Does that answer his question? I hope it does.
I think so.
All right, any other questions?
How does the Autobot system work?
What Autobot system?
That's what he's saying. How does the Autobot system
I'm not sure what you're asking about is Autobot unless you're talking about RoboTrader. And probably I would tell you to give our product support staff a call. That's another whole conversation for a different time. That's it. All right. So let's go to the next story. Next story, gold. How many of you are trading gold? Raise your hand. I'm one of them. Right now, I'm still in Nugget personally. I've made some money on it. I've taken half of my trade off the table. Curious to know, Rich, are you trading gold? Are you baby sharks in there trading gold? I'm just curious. Baby shark, baby. Don't sing that?
No.
Why? Richie shark, Richie. All right, everyone. Anyway, Rich, I know he liked that. Anyway, gold prices rise as the U.S. Fed unleashes unprecedented measures. So what makes gold rise? What makes gold rise? A weak dollar. Our economy prior to this was so good that our dollar was so strong. Okay, now that this is hit and our economy is getting beaten up a little bit, the dollar weakens, people move to gold. So gold prices rise as the U.S. Fed unleashes unprecedented measures. Gold prices in Asia rose Tuesday morning, staying firmly above the 1,500 mark as the U.S. Fed Reserve announced further steps to combat COVID-19. They were up 1.7% as the Fed announced unprecedented measures to buy unlimited amounts of Treasury bonds and mortgage-backed security. The measure keeps borrowing costs low at low levels and gives a yellow metal, which pays no interest, a boost. So, a lot of people are moving to gold. Did anybody raise their hand about buying gold? Mm-hmm. They did, a lot of people. All right, so let's talk about that. All right, because like I said, personally, I'm in it. I'm going to show you something. We got another watch list. Is this my right one? Let's do it this way. I have a watch list that looks at gold stocks. How about that? There we go. All right, before we do that, let me go back over to my watch list because I want to show you something else first. Let's go to 326. I've got two stocks that I use to track gold. All right, the Huey, which is the gold bugs, and gold. How about the the two top stocks in my watch list are gold? Interesting, huh? All right, because they're ETFs, I won't have relative value and relative safety on them, but I can tell you that they're RTs, which tells me if the stock's in an uptrend or not, definitely above 1. So gold is on the rise. I'm going to highlight both of these. Let's go view the stock graph. as the COVID-19 is hit, the dollar's gotten hit as well. Gold stocks are starting to move. There's the Huey, there's the gold bugs. The 3.8 crossed on the Huey yesterday and still above it today. I like that. Bouncing off a level of support down here where it hit a low. Look at that run. And people always ask the methodology of the 3 and the 8. It works. Look at the 3.8 cross to the upside, to the downside, to the upside, to the downside. And currently now back up to the upside. Man, it's rocking and rolling. And let's go look at the gold. There's your GLD. Look at it, it's got a bigger move, even though it looks like it's a more expensive stock. Nope, it's not. They're both over $100, but look at GLD. Now be careful with a stock that gaps up a lot, because as quickly as it gaps up is as quickly as it gaps down. Watch the volume. All right, even though I like that GLD is moving, look at the falling volume. Even though I like that the Huey is moving, there's no volume on this one, but look at the Huey nonetheless. So gold is moving. Let's take this a step further. Let's go look at the gold stocks that I have. I have a watch list of gold stocks. This watch list is comprised of 47 stocks, all kinds of gold-related stocks. So again, gold's on the rise. Take me off the screen for a second. You want to be able to look at the watch list of stocks. I'm going to leave this up here. This is the first part of it, the stocks that are here. I'm going to scroll down. Oh, I got to click on it. All right, here's the first set of stocks. I'm going to click down just a little bit. Here's the next set. So again, when you look at the video, you look at the recording, you can build your watch list of these stocks. And one more time down, there we go. That will give you the full list of the 47 stocks that I have within this list. Same kind of scenario. Take this watch list of stocks. So sort by percent price change. I can stay up on it just like I did with the coronavirus stocks. If I'm playing gold and I want to play the ones that are moving on a daily basis, sort by percent price change every morning. You'll get into the gold stocks that are moving. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is why we look at watch lists just for these purposes. Now, every stock in here has to be at least $1, number one. And number two, they all have to have an average volume of 100,000 shares. So for anybody who's asking me the question, how did I pick out just these? Because they had to be at least $1 and the average volume had to be at least 100,000 shares. That's what I have for every stock that's in this list. All right, any questions?
Why is the gold spread so high?
Why is the gold spread so high? You know, spreads normally come from supply and demand or buyers and sellers. When you say the spread is high, it's because a lot of people are not sure. Gold is moving, but because of the stimulus package, again, I'll go back to the stimulus. If the stimulus goes in and we put a lot of money out there, the dollar's going to fall. Dollar's going to fall. And I think people are sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what's going to happen, because gold is going to have an opportunity to take off like nobody's business. All right, so the supply, the spread normally comes from the buyers and the sellers as far as the bid and the ask. Joey, any other questions?
What do you watch for the best ones?
What do you watch for the best ones? One, how about sorting the list by RT to find you the ones that are in the biggest uptrend? So if I do that, I'll find the stocks that have an RT greater than 1. The higher above 1 it is, the faster in an uptrend it is. But if I want to jump on a stock from a trade today, I sort the list by percentage price change. So there's two different ways. Now, if I'm looking for a longer term gold play, use RV, that long-term price appreciation potential. Now, what if I can find a stock that's got an RV greater than 1, with an RT greater than 1, all right, and is moving up today? Whoo! How about now I got Kirkland? So let me explain that again. RV greater than 1, RT greater than 1, and the stock's moving up today. That's a triple winner. Now, it may not be moving up a lot, but I'm getting now into a stock that's got good upside potential, that is in an uptrend, and that is up today. Let's go see another one. Here's Kinross, RV above 1, RT above 1, and moving up today. Folks, that's a simple way to use the watch list to hone in. Does that answer his question? I really want to know, I want him to answer. Does that answer your question? That is a great way to use this watch list. So I'm looking for stocks that have good upside potential, have an RT above 1, and are moving up today, that's a great way. And I could do the same thing with the coronavirus stocks. All right, I can do that with coronavirus stocks.
He says great.
All right, excellent. All right, so any other questions?
ETFs for gold?
ETFs for gold, yeah. Do I have them? I don't think let's do it this way. RV1. Do I have them in here? One, no. I'm going to make one, but write these down. For the bullish side, Nugget, N-U-G-T. Another one, JNUG, J-N-U-G. For the downside, Dust, D-U-S-T. And what's the other one for the, what's the bearish one for the miners? JNUG, is it, I gotta remember what it is. It's not J-Dust. I don't remember what the, somebody's gonna probably tell. No, that's not one. That's not the one I'm looking for. There's a lot of them out there. I gave you two of the most popular ones. Nugget, JNUG, Dust, and I don't remember what the other side is for the miners. All right, those are really, really, really popular. There's a lot of other ETFs that can be used for gold. If you can find them, use them. But the ones that I gave you are the most popular that I have found using, trying to utilize for gold. Any other questions? Nope. All right, let's get to the next story. Woo, good questions today. Next story. Bank stocks. Woo, as the market gets beaten up. As the market gets beaten up, bank stocks getting smoked like a like a brisket. Thank you, Joey. Getting smoked like a brisket. I like me some good brisket, though. These bank stocks could enjoy a major rally as the Fed gives unprecedented support, says longtime analyst. So I want you to, some stocks that are in here, JP Morgan, Bank of America, MTB, SIVB. I didn't take the Fannie Mae and Fannie Mac equation in here, but I am going to look at these stocks right here. All right, let's go to, but now the Federal Reserve doing everything it can to ensure liquidity. The Congress expected to pass what may be a $2 trillion economic stimulus bill. There are a number of stocks that could be attractive for trading here. He wrote a note, and some of these are banking stocks. All right, let's go back into my watch list. Let's go back into my watch list. Let's go 326. The stocks that I have, JP Morgan, where's that at? JP Morgan, we're looking at Bank of America, we're looking at SIVB. There was another one that was in that list. Hold on, let me go see. What was in that story? There was one more. MTB. Why did I not have MTB in here? I'm going to put it in here now. MTB. And so it should be 4 stocks. All right, so let's go JP Morgan, SIVB. There's M&T Bank and Bank of America. Interesting. All of these stocks, not all of them. JP Morgan, good upside potential. SIVB, a good upside, but all of them have RVs above 1. Only 2 have relative safeties above 1. That's JP Morgan and SVB. Look at the earnings growth. JP Morgan by far is the best, growing their earnings at a clip of 12% a year. SVB at 7%, M&T Bank at 6%, and Bank of America also at 6%. Let's take a look at these graphs. Remember, they're all sells because the market's getting beaten up. Woo! How about JP Morgan? Look at that bounce. This is why you come here, folks. Look at that bounce. Look at that 3.8. Loving it. Love the volume is pretty steady. Volume is pretty steady, like that. 3.8 cross, very little wick at the top. The stock has got a good up day today. These are stocks to keep your eyes on. I would go 12 cents higher than the high. Now, keep in mind, if you pull the trigger on that stock, you have a level of resistance sitting at 104.39. You got about $7 or so that you can make on that. If this is a good level of resistance, the stock will get there and pull back. Just keep your eye on that. Next one, SIVB, 3.8 crossed again. It's got a level of 182.52 from 167. Man, volume is pulling back a little bit, but still overall, if I look at an average, it's still trading right about its average volume. Up day today, but look at the little body, big wick at the top. I got some selling pressure. I had selling pressure on it yesterday. I got a little bit of selling pressure on it as well. Watch the earnings of starting to fall. Just be careful with it, but it is moving up off of a low. Next stock is M&T. All three of these so far, 3 1/8 of cross. Love the open body, very little wick at the top. I got still some trading day left, but look at the consistency of volume. Earnings is falling, but still higher than it was 3 months ago. I like M&T as well. And the last one is Bank of America. All 4 of these stocks, the 3 1/8 of cross. So the story was right on time. Every one of these stocks, as the market is coming into this level of this stimulus package, these banks may take off. If nothing else, folks, we're getting you in pretty close to the bottom. If you pull the trigger on these, make sure you put in a buy, stop, limit order. But all 4 of these stocks, the 3 1/8 is just crossing. All 4 of these stocks are bouncing off a level of support and moving higher. And you've got some good upside here. All right, so far, folks, before we get to our next story, if you're enjoying what you see here, don't forget to like, comment, and big enough, subscribe. Please do. As I mentioned earlier, the majority of the people who are watching these presentations are not subscribers to the channel. I don't know what I can do to change your mind, but if you like the commentary here, why wouldn't you subscribe? Please do that for us. All right, any questions? No questions. Let's go to our next story. Boop, boop, boop. Now, these are stocks that caught my attention. These are stories that popped up that I wanted to keep my eyes on. One of them, Facebook. How about Facebook with all of the time everybody's sitting at home looking at social media? Facebook shows who's boss by adding its name to Instagram and WhatsApp. They own those things, and now they're putting their names out there. They're trying to grow their audience-ship as well. Is that a good word, audience-ship? That's not a real word. No. It's not. Okay, but I like it. Sounds good, though, right? Yeah, all right. Joey says it sounds good, and it's a Glenism. They're trying to grow their audience-ship. All right, Facebook is attaching its name to Instagram and WhatsApp in a rebranding decision aimed at further unifying the company's apps that had been cultivated as separate consumer services. See, they bought Instagram, they bought WhatsApp, but now they're trying to put it all under the Facebook umbrella. What better time than do it while everybody is out there on social media? Another stock. This is another biomedical stock that maybe many of you do not know about. Thus, it caught my attention. Acres Bioscience is up 25% on an in-license of coronavirus vaccine candidate. So I didn't have it with my other coronavirus stocks because this was a stock outside of all of those stocks that caught my attention. Now, keep in mind, though, thinly traded nano cap Acres Biosciences. Folks, this is a very aggressive trade. Rich, I'm thinking you might like this stock. It is a lower traded state. Now, be careful with the nano cap. It means it doesn't have a big market cap. Just be careful. But it's in the realm of the biosciences. It's in the realm of trying to throw its hat in there for the coronavirus. You know something? Some of those stocks that are the micro-cap stocks are stocks that people take a chance on before they become the big fish in the sea. This is a little fish in a little pond before it becomes a big shark. You get that, Rich? Before it becomes a big shark in the ocean. This is another stock to keep your eye on. Is yet another tiny medical company jumping on the COVID-19 bandwagon with its announced license deal with Primus Biotech for a coronavirus vaccine candidate. Another stock, folks, AKER, to keep your eyes on. And another big story, Ford working with 3M and GE to produce medical supplies, primarily ventilators. I'm loving that other people are coming out of the woodworks because they need to. New York is needing a lot of ventilators. California needing a lot of ventilators. Louisiana needing a lot of ventilators. And I'm thinking that a company like Ford, you know what this is doing? This is helping to keep their staff staffed. They're going to open up a plant that has been shut down or converting it so that they can produce ventilators. That's what you call forward thinking. That's what you call being creative in a time like this. All right, so Ford, this caught my attention as well. Let's go to my watch list. Let's take a look at those. Facebook is in this list. What else? 3M is in here. Ford is in here. and AKER. This should take out all of this. Oh, GE was in here as well. All right, after we looked at this, we've looked at all of the stocks in my watch list today, which was 17. First off, Facebook grows their earnings the biggest in here, 19%. 3M grows it by 3%. Now, with Ford working with 3M and General Electric, Ford is going to help to bolster 3M and General Electric. General Electric is way over its value. It's not altogether a good company, but this collaboration with Ford could push GE higher. You remember the song, GE, we bring good things to living, we bring good things to life. You remember that commercial? And if you remember that commercial, guess what? You're old. All right, Joey, you don't remember that, don't you? Joey is a millennial. I think yes, you are. How old are you?
37.
You're still a baby. I could be your daddy. I probably could be your daddy. Anyway, I don't want to be your daddy, by the way, but I could be. 37. You're not a millennial. What are you? You're like, you don't even know. So don't worry about it. Anyway, just keep that in mind. With Ford moving with the collaboration with GE and with 3M, I think it can help to bolster these companies. Ford needs it too. They got a negative earnings. Let's take a look at all of these graphs real quick. Let's view the stock graph. All right, Facebook. Think about this. As social media, as we do the social distancing, people are spending a lot of time on Facebook. The 3.8 just crossed on Facebook today. Volume's pretty steady. I got a little bit more trading day left. Volume is pretty steady. Facebook may not be a bad thing, but I've got a couple of levels of resistance popping up right here. Just keep your eyes on, though, but a good update today. Next one, 3M. 3M, the 3.8 hasn't crossed yet, but it is moving up off a level of a low. Watch the earnings. Earnings have been getting beaten up. And look at the overall downtrend on the stock, but this collaboration could help bolster the price move on 3M in the near future. Next one is Ford. Ford already jumped up. Right now on an end-of-day basis, even though it's down today, leave it alone. The 3.8 is still good. Volume is there. Earnings is lower than it was 3 months ago, but the stock's price is starting to show some rebound right here. And Acres. Here's my little dumb. There they are. My biomedical company. I want you to keep your eyes on this. This is a low-dollar nano-cap stock that could have a potential to blow up big time. All right, now that they have their hat in the game for coronavirus, just keep your eyes on it. I didn't tell you to buy any of these stocks. I am telling you to keep your eyes on it. Wait for the right buying opportunity. The 3.8 did cross a couple of days ago. Even on the pullback right now, the 3.8 are still bullish. And the last stock that's in here is GE. Notice that the stocks in collaboration with Ford are starting to show signs of moving up already. All right, and that's it. That's all my stocks. Any questions?
Explain buy stop limit order.
Buy stop limit order. All right, let's take this from a simple perspective. Let's say the stock is 20 bucks. The buy stop order should be 12 cents higher than that. So I have a buy stop at 2012, which means that the order does not trigger unless it goes 12 cents higher than the high. If it doesn't go 12 cents higher than the high, it won't buy. So my buy stop says that's what I'm willing to pay for the stock. Now, the limit means how much higher than my buy stop am I willing to go? I put 10 cents more than that. So my limit would be 2022. All right, 2012 would be my buy stop, which is 12 cents higher than the high. 10 cents higher than that is my limit. What is my limit there for? Because if the stock gaps up, I could get filled at a higher price and then the stock's price goes down. My limit protects me against a stock gapping up. All right, so the buy stop is saying I'm not buying it until it hits that price. The limit says I'm not paying any more than that price. Does that make sense to him, the person that asked the question? All right, any other questions? Nope. All right, now Joey is going to bring over to me the chat. I got you. Bring me over to the chat. As he's bringing the chat over to me, as you start to type your stocks into the room, now you can start to type your stocks into the room. Remember, folks, do not forget, if you like what you see here, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And the big thing, subscribe, and after that, comment. Do not forget to comment. All right, so this is your opportunity for me to analyze any of your stocks. Harry gave me a stock already. Did I write it down? I wrote it down. What did I write it down? What was the stock?
I remember having 4 letters.
I remember most stocks have 4 letters. Joey, that didn't help me. I swear I wrote that down. I really did. Where's Harry? Harry's going to type it in. Harry, type it in. I'm going to take Harry's. Wherever I see Harry's, I'm going to take it in. All right. Oh, they're all coming in. All right. I may not get everybody's, because you guys are putting a lot in here. Nugget, AIR. Oh, gosh. Good gravy. XPO. Look for Harry's, Joey. KGC, another gold stock. Comma, SLV, a silver stock. Starbucks. Comma, PNC, it's a bank. Comma, CIEN. Comma, Lowe's, LOW. Comma, Costco, COST. Comma, SPCE. Comma, Harry. Type in your stock, man. I got you. Gosh, dang it. Joey, what did you do to it? Here's both of my pieces of paper. Oh, man, I'm so mad at myself. I told him I would have them. I don't have anybody who's typing in a .to. I'm not looking at Canadian stocks. I'm not looking at Canadian stocks. MSFT, comma, I got to sneeze. Joey, you might have to. No. NEE, comma, KMPR. Holy smokes. All right, TNA, comma, CNK, comma, Ally, there it is, comma.
KMPR was it?
KMPR. Did you see it on my paper?
No.
Or you went back up and found it?
John.
All right, I got you, Glenn. It's KMPR. Thank you, John. John got it for me. All right, let's go look at Boeing. All right, I'm only going to take a couple of other stocks. KMPR. Here we go. KMPR, comma, Boeing. I'm looking for new people. Oh, wow, really? KMPR, Boeing, BA. I'm looking for new people now. New people. Steve, EPD, comma, one more new person. Amazon. All right. That's enough stocks for today. Joey, type the link in there for them to get a free stock analysis report. For everyone, I didn't get everybody's stock. You guys put a lot of stocks out there. All right, what Joey's going to type in the room is a link for a free stock analysis. Click that link, give us your email. We will analyze any stock for you. We will analyze any stock for you. All right, and guys are still typing in stock. Man, that was a lot of stocks. That was a lot of stocks. I got that many people. I got a lot of stocks. All right, stop typing in stocks. I can't put any more. I can't put any more. All right, so let's go look at your stocks. Look at a 3-month graph. JNUG, be careful with it. I know that gold is moving, but if you're going to look at JNUG, I need to see it. I'm looking for the 3 and the 8 on an end of day basis to click over. I'm really looking for that 3 and the 8 to click over at this particular point in time. Until that happens, I would say be careful with JNUG. There's probably other gold stocks that you can play, but watch the 3-8 on the end of day basis. Next stock, let's go peep out. I like Air. I like Air stock, and I cannot lie. That's all. Okay. Anyway, Air, I like the bounce off the bottom. I like the 3-8 cross. I like the open body. I like the earnings are higher than it was 3 months ago. I like the volume is pumping up. I like a lot of things about it. Because the stock is less than 20 bucks, I put a buy stop limit order of 5 cents higher than the high. I like that stock. Rajiv, I can only put as many stocks as I can. You cannot, as much as I'd like to put it in, you can't dictate which ones I do look at. I'm sorry, no, I cannot. I got a lot of stocks in here. So every one that I miss, as I mentioned, there is a link in here that you can click on. Please do that to get a stock analysis report, all right? There's a lot of people in here, Rajiv. There's a lot of people, and there's a lot of stocks that I still have to look at before I'm done. All right. I do like Air. I like the open body, the whole 9 yards. No, Charles, it's not about making me mad. I just want you to understand there's a lot going on in the background here. All right, let's go to XPO. I like it too. I don't like the wick at the top, but the wick is not bigger than the body. I like that the 3-8 cross. I like the earnings per share is higher. Volume is okay. Excuse me. Volume is okay, but where is it stopping? Right at a level of resistance. See that green line? Where's that body? Right at a level of resistance. Thus the reason why I like to see stocks break above that level of resistance before I pull the trigger on the stock. So I like it. Let's see if it can break through that level of resistance. Keep in mind, it's got another level of resistance sitting right here. All right, let's go to the next stock. KGC, another gold stock. I like it. Today, it's green bar because it's higher than the previous day's close, all right? But it's a closed candle, which means the price started at the top of the candle and came down. The price is lower now than it was at the open today. So if you're in it and you're getting nervous, leave it alone, because on the end of day basis, the 3 and the 8 are still in place. Leave it alone. Don't worry. I do see selling pressure with 2 wicks at the top of both of these candles. Just keep that in mind. Put your stops in place. All right, put your stops in place. Silver, another precious metal that coming off a low is definitely running higher. Love it. All right, down today is not the day to buy it if you're not in it. If you're already in it, leave it alone. On an end of day basis, you are okay. On an end of day basis, you are okay. All right, but today is a down day. I like Starbucks. Look at that, coming off a level of a low. How about a candle right here known as a hammer coming down off of that low? That's not the actual low, but in a downtrend. Candle formation of a hammer. Look at the 3-8 cross. Love the open body today. I do have a level of resistance on the stock sitting at a level of $80.34. I got some room to make some money in this stock. I definitely got some room to make some money. Love the earnings per share. With the coronavirus, not a lot of people going out to Starbucks possibly, but look at it rebounding right now with the nice up days in the market. A little bit of wick at the top, a little bit of selling pressure, but definitely a bigger open candle. I like it. Next one, PNC. I already talked about bank stocks, right? PNC is a bank stock. Look at it. Look at the big open body, very little wick at the top. Earnings is falling off a little bit, but still higher than it was 3 months ago. Love the volume on it. Now, as the stock's price is moving up, I'm watching the volume fade a little bit. That could be a bearish divergence on between volume and price. Just be careful about that. Big up day today. If you jumped on it, how about the 3 and the 8 are in play? If you're not in it yet, I love the up candle. Make sure you're buying it 12 cents higher than the high. It does have a level of resistance on the stock sitting at about 119.04, and the stock is trading at 100. If you get in, you can still make about 20 bucks on the stock. I like PNC. I do like that. Next one is CEN, Telecom Fiber Optics, bouncing off a level of support. Where's it stopping? Right at a level of resistance. Man, oh man, this is why I love this. Now, I do like the upward trend connecting these lows here. I do like the upward trend. I could use this trend line as a level of a stop as well, but the stock's price not only is moving up, a little bit of a bullish pennant, another candlestick or a flag formation, a bullish pennant as the stock's price is moving higher, but it is stopping at that level of support. It is stopping at, that level of resistance, sitting about $39.80. And I really like to see if it could break above that. But it's got a couple of other levels of resistance to break through as well. Like the earnings is higher than it was 3 months ago, and watch the volume. Now, why is the volume falling overall? Not only is it moving higher, it could be moving a little bit sideways too. All right, so it may need to get out of its own way. Next stock is Lowe's, another stock that's coming off of a low, the 3 and the 8 cross yesterday, still moving up. And where is the wick stopping? Right at a level of resistance, sitting at about $91.22. Man, this stuff works. If you look at support and resistance, so you don't get caught up in that the stock's price is just moving up today. That's not what you want to look at. Look at the graph, and we've got one of the best graphing packages out there to help you to make decisions. You notice that these support and resistance lines that are here, VectorVest will automatically draw those lines for you. I'm not putting them up here. I highlight and put the support and resistance. VectorVest will automatically draw these lines for me on every stock. I love the earnings per share. The volume has been up there. It's pulling back a little bit, but I do like that the stock's price is moving up. Next one, Costco. Watch it. I watch Costco. The stock's price from that high starting to still move down. A bit of congestion right here. All right, the stock, good open up day today. I'm looking for the 3-8 to cross on an end of day basis, definitely. With all the topsy-turvyosity, that is a Glenism. With all of the topsy-turvyosity, I definitely need the 3-8 to cross before I pull the trigger. Now, if I want to be a little bit more aggressive, I could pull the trigger on the big up day today. But let's get some more confirmation with the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average crossovers. Virgin Atlantic. Man, coronavirus hurt it, and now it's starting to move. Now, you know, I like the 3-8 cross, but what's the stocks doing for the last 3 days? Moving sideways. Be careful with that. If I'm going to think about jumping on stock, let it get out of its own way. Let's break out of this level of the semi-level of resistance. Let's get higher than at least this candle before you pull the trigger. Earnings is lower than it was 3 months ago. Volume is, that's the way I look at it. See, can you say that, Joey?
No.
That's what volume is like. Compared to a lot of other stocks, volume is like, all right, so just keep that in mind. But the 3 and the 8 did cross, but the stock is doing a little bit of a sideways mumble right here. Next stock, Microsoft. I like the bounce off the bottom. I like the 3-8. I've got a solid level of resistance here at 152.42, and it's right there. This is why I'd love to see the stock break above it. Before I pull the trigger on it, love the volume. Volume is really steady. This is a staple company. Everybody knows Microsoft. And there's a bad time to be in a good stock. I love the earnings, but there is a bad time to be in a good stock. Right now, it's trying to get out of its own way. Let's see if it can break above that level of resistance. Next stock, NI. Like it. It's a utility. Big up day today. 3 days coming off of a level of a low. How about a candlestick pattern, also known as a hammer? Possible reversal, follow through, more follow through. If I'm not in the stock yet, 12 cents higher than the high, 3 and the 8 cross, I like it. I like that stock as well. Let's go to the next one, KMPR. Woo! I see that big selling pressure yesterday. I got selling pressure again. Where's it stopping? Right at that level of resistance at 74.94. Be careful about that. Look at the big wick today. Stops right there. I definitely would love to see if the stock's price can break above that level of resistance. I would probably go 12 cents higher than that level of resistance. That helps to make sure that I am buying into a rising stock. All right, volume is pretty good. I'm not ready to pull the trigger. I really want to see if we can break through that level of resistance first. TNA, this is on the small caps. Because the market's moved up for 3 days, it's starting to move up. Love the rising volume. Personally, I'd wait for the 3-8 to cross. All right, on an end-of-day basis, let's wait for the 3-8 to cross. That gives me more confirmation of the move. All right, open candle today. I like that, but let's wait for some more confirmation. Next stock, CNK, moving sideways. Movie theaters are closed. Joey can't even take his wife to the movies. And when you're ready to do that, I'll come watch the kids. Just let me know. But you got to pay me $50 a kid.
Per kid?
$50 per kid per hour.
$150.
No, per hour.
$150 an hour?
$150 an hour. All right, so I'll give Joey an opportunity to take his wife to the movies, but he's got to pay me $150 an hour to watch his 3 kids.
Very generous of you.
That is very generous of me. Just let them know Uncle Glenn is coming over. All right, so Cinemark moving sideways. A little bit of a sideways mambo again. I really would wait for the 3 and the 8 to cross bullish before I jump on board with that too. But as long as we have social distancing, people ain't going to the movie still. So just be careful with that. And volume is pulling back. All right, so just keep that in mind. If you own it though, you got to make a decision at some point. Now, if you own it, it did bounce. And you could be saying to yourself, yay, it's going up. But if social distancing is placed, I don't think movie theaters are going to be making much money. Keep that in mind. All right, Ally Financial. Love the 3 and the 8 just crossed. Love the earnings per share. There you go. Got to love that. Bounce off a level of support. 3-8 cross. I'd like to see a bigger body. I see a big wick at the top. Some selling pressure. But again, another financial institution like PNC and Bank of America and all of that. Watch them banks, folks. I'm telling you, watch those banks. Put them into a watch list and wait for the right buying opportunity. But Ally is moving up, a big wick at the top. I do see some selling pressure. But if it does move up, I've got a great level of resistance sitting at 29.67. I got some good upside potential right here. But wait for the right time to buy. All right, next stock, Bank of Boeing. Woo! So Boeing, you know why Boeing is going up? I saw a story that Boeing looks like they may be getting their 737s back up off the ground in about April. All right, and there's another little stock that we saw this morning. What was that stock? I'm going to give you another stock just to keep your eye on. SPR. SPR, Spirit. Write that stock down. They are a big supplier to Boeing. Write that stock down. It was trading at about $36 or some change. SPR. and they are in direct correlation with Boeing getting back up off the ground. That stock could be something to keep your eye on. If anybody buys it, let me know. That's a good something to keep your eyes on, all right? So Boeing is moving up, and this is in anticipation of the 737 finally getting off the ground. EPMD, oh, did I really say EMPMD? Really? You see where my head's at. Eric and Paul making dollars. Anyway, EPD, petroleum stock. I like the bounce. I don't like that the 3 and 8 haven't crossed. Look at the big wick at the top. A lot of selling pressure. Watch the volume as well. Earnings is lower than it was 3 months ago. Petroleum, I'm not a big fan of petroleum just quite yet. All right, just wait on it. Just wait on it. Let it come to you. Don't force it. And the last stock is Amazon. I like the bounce off a bottom. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago, the 3-8 cross, and since then the stock's price is just moving higher. If you're not in it yet, let's see if it can get out of its own way right here, doing a little bit of sideways mambo. I do like with today's activity, it did break through a level of 1912.24, which was a good level of resistance, but it's closed above that a couple of times, just not being able to keep it there. But the 3 and 8 have crossed. Watch the volume. And folks, that's all of the stocks. That's all of the stocks. That's all of the stocks. And I'm tired. Holy smokes, I'm only 20 minutes over. I'm only 20 minutes over. Any other questions, Joey?
No, just a lot of comments.
Just a lot of comments. Hopefully they're good comments.
Yeah.
All right. Did they say anything bad about me?
No, everybody thanks you.
Everybody thanks me. Did they think I'm okay?
I think you're all right.
Okay, they think I'm all right. I'm okay that you guys think I'm all right. That's cool. Now, Eatery says U.S. or Canada. We are using Canada. We are using U.S. in here.
You're talking about dollars for the trial.
The dollars for the trial will be in U.S. Will be in the U.S. All right, in the U.S. Why are you so good to us, says DM for Profit? Because I love you guys to death. Barney says, what chart length are you watching, mate? I'm looking always at a 3-month graph. Why? And I explained that the reason why, because what happens every 3 months with a stock? Earnings. So I try to keep that in focus when I look at a 3-month graph. Earnings is the biggest mover of a stock's price. So I always tend to look at a 3-month graph. And I tend to be more of a trader to a swing trader. Now, let me tell you something. In regards to being a longer-term investor, just move these graphs out from a 3-month to a 1-year graph. If you like the 1-year graph as a more prudent investor, use it. It's okay. It's fine. But for the purposes of giving you the news to these stories that come out and looking at their graphs, I like looking at a 3-month to give you an understanding. Some of these stocks you may want to take a look at. Some of them you may not. Some of them you may not. So that's the whole idea here, is to open up your eyes to some stocks that you didn't know, like AKER. I like that stock, or that SPR stock. Keep your eyes on those stocks. All right, with that, folks, is the VIX still high? Yeah, the volatility is still high, Charles. All right, it did pull back today. It did pull back yesterday because of the 2 big up days. Normally, when the market starts moving up, the VIX will pull back. The volatility on the S&P 500. Thinks Glenn is a comedian. Wrong. Glenn is a witty singer. Wow. How many people we got right now? I don't know how many people in the room. We had a lot of people today. We did have does SPR have the money to survive? They most sell to BA for 737. They laid off many people before the virus hit. So MR, keep in mind, I'm gonna add SPR to this. Joey's not gonna put this in the video, I don't think. I'm gonna add SPR in here only for the purposes of looking at it. The stock doesn't have good fundamentals, and you're right, MR. It could have been vastly affected by Boeing, but you know a couple of things I like. One, I like that the stock is trading below its value. This stock is still an undervalued stock. Actually, there's not a couple of things. That's the only thing I really like about the stock. So the news of Boeing could actually pull the stock's price higher. All right, so I'm looking at the relative safety. You're right. The relative safety in the CI is not there. So this is a news-based stock, MR. This is definitely a DM. Is it DM? I got 2 of them, DM and MR. If you look at this, this is strictly a news-based stock. That's exactly what this is. Based upon the fundamentals, it's not there. This is the this is because Boeing could be getting up off the ground, that this stock should be taken off. So keep that in mind. Glenn, bought SPR and BI are both are sell rated. What stop would you suggest using? In this case, because I like them on an end of day basis, Eric, I'm going to use the 3 and the 8. I'm going to use the 3 and the 8. Any stock that I look at for the most part in this room, because I use the 3 and the 8 as an opportunity to get you in, I am probably going to say I'm going to use a 3 and the 8 as an opportunity to get you out. Does everybody in the room understand that? Every stock that we look at is for that purpose. If I can use the 3 and the 8 as a means to say, hey, I like this stock, I'm going to use the 3 and the 8 as a means to get out. I want everybody in the room to understand that. Type in the room if you understand what I just said. For all of the stocks that we look at in these presentations, I like using the 3 and the 8 to get you in, but I also like using the 3 and the 8 to get you out. I know we got a delay, but ain't nobody answering my question. Good Lord have mercy, nobody's answering my question. All right, fine. Then either you just understand it and you're not letting me know, that's fine. All right, is this Spirit Airlines? John, no, this is not Spirit Airlines. It's a different Spirit. It's a different Spirit. All right, now you're typing in there. I just joined, so no idea, says Gamer. Hi, Gamer. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. And you know something, Gamer? We will be having a replay of this. My right-hand man, Joey, is going to put out a replay of all of the stocks that we talked about today. Glenn, can you help with Steve's question about adding Fibonacci lines? I don't know a lot about Fibonacci's, but as far as adding a Fibonacci, I can show you how to do it. You go up to where it says freehand line right here. It's one of the drawings that we have. If you go to Fibonacci retracement, all right, and let's draw it from a high to a low. There we go. There's my line, and there's my Fibonacci. So I can add a Fibonacci to a graph. Other than that, I don't know much more about it. I know it's sort of like a support, it's like an exaggerated support resistance kind of thing. All right, so that's how you add it to a graph. That's how you add it to a graph. Eric says, I said thanks because I know what you mean. There you go, Eric. All right. Any other questions? Before you leave today's fantastic presentation, hit the like button below. Not only that, subscribe. Subscribe. A lot of you are here who are not subscribers to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, do that. Subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, subscribe. Man, just subscribe. All right. We love having you here. I am so blessed to have all of you guys here. I am so blessed to have hit, along with my team of Joey and Jennifer and Clay, that we hit the mark of 10,000 subscribers, folks. That means you like the content. I'm going to keep bringing it to you. All right, as long as you keep supporting it, I'm going to keep bringing it to you. I love the energy that I bring here, but I love the energy that I get back from you guys. All right, I'm just watching these presentations grow as far as people. Rich, I know you're out there. Thank you for bringing your people. All my regular people that are here, thank you for supporting it. And all my new people, I want you to become regulars too. So subscribe to the channel. This is a good place to get a basic understanding on how to use the VectorVest software, to stay on top of what's going on in the market, and to look at stocks that are making news. So subscribe to the channel. I want you to do that, number one. And when Joey puts these videos out, comment on them. Let me know you like them. Let me know, well, I don't think you did a good job on that, because Joey will erase those. So anyway, no, Joey won't do that. Oh yeah, and in April 8th, we're going to also be on YouTube. I will be on YouTube with 3 esteemed colleagues of mine talking about our hot stocks for the month of April. Every month we bring you a hot stocks panel on YouTube at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. This next month is going to be April 8th, Wednesday, April 8th at 2 p.m. on YouTube. If you subscribe to the channel, folks, hit the little bell icon. We will let you know when those things are happening. All right, my voice is getting tired. I'm tired. Holy smokes, am I tired. With that, folks, I want to say adios, arrivederci. Thank you guys for being here. How often do these live streams, do you do the live streams? I do these every Thursday at 2 o'clock. Every Thursday at 2 p.m., Joey and I are here for the live stream. All right, folks, if you like what you saw here, B. Che says, Baby Shark. Rich, thank you for bringing folks here. Thank you for bringing folks here. I always love you for that. And he's on my personal Facebook as well. So thank you very much. And Mark says, bye, Teach. Later, folks. Adios. Can you do a Canada special once in a while? I'll think about that, Dan. I don't have news that covers the Canadian stocks. So that's the issue. The stocks that I look at, or the news that I look at, looks at U.S. stocks, not Canadian stocks. Take care, my brother, make money. There you go, boxing for life. I will. Thanks again. See you next week, gamers. So with that, folks, adios. You need to publish. I got a book. I got a book of Glenisms. Next week, I'll show it to you. I got a book of Glenisms. Somebody made, a customer made for me. I'll do it next week. All right, with that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Later, folks. Out of here. Peace.